head coach Brenda Frese and Kaylene Smikle. Coach will start, and then we'll take some questions.
It's always great to see you guys, especially after a win. We're just, really, really proud of this team, and you saw what it took to be able to get a really, really good win. This is going to be impactful for us when you talk about future and why we play games like this within our scheduling. I mean, Princeton is a really, really good team. Those their players have been together for 3 and 4 years with all their experience, and for us with 8 new players, playing in this kind of environment, and having one practice, after losing a key player in our lineup, I thought we didn't even flinch. So, tale of 2 different quarters in the first half. You saw that at halftime. We kind of talked about not buying into the fatigue and the press that was giving us problems. I thought we started to, do the little things that helped us get where we were in the first quarter. Loved that 12-0 run that we had in the third quarter to be able to get back to the way we wanted to play. And just so many impactful minutes. Like, that's who we have to be as a team. You saw Saylor have a huge impact on this game, rebounding, knocking down shots for us, leading. And then when you look at all 3 of these guys up here, just powerful minutes of taking over and opportunities to help this game, whether it be in the press and being able to make shots, 100% for KK from the free throw line, drawing 7 fouls against them, getting them in foul trouble was really, really big. But more importantly, we're extremely sad for Leia, and know that she's got all the support from us in this long recovery process. And, we'll be there for her each and every step of the way. But it allows a lot of our younger players are going to have to step up and grow a little faster and quicker. But that's why they came here and are built for that moment.
Raise your hand for the mic. We'll take questions for the athletes first. We'll start with number 1.
Hey, y'all, congrats. Oluchi, want to start with you real quick. Brenda just kind of talked about Leia. When you have a teammate go down like that, kind of how do you guys as a group kind of come back together? And, as the point guard who you guys have spent this last however many months kind of getting used to her and building that chemistry, how do things kind of tweak when it's next man up?
Yeah, I mean, for one, just going back to that moment, we were pretty much all shaken up about it. And that kind of showed a little bit in the game because Leia, like you said, we've built so much chemistry with her. She's become such an integral part of the team, But with that, I think first things first, being there for her, understanding that even though she's on the sideline, she very much has a voice. Even today in the huddle, she was one of the loudest voices in there, directing us, showing us what to do because she still has that point guard mind. So, Addie's, of course, really stepped up, and I think all we can do is just continue to support her, continue to help her in her leading us as point guard now.
Thanks. And Eddie, that's kind of going off of that also, just going to be a little bit more, it's going to be a group. It's not like all on you, but it's going to be more minutes, an increased role. How do you kind of approach it, tweak your mindset, or does anything change for you just kind of knowing, it's going to be a little bit of increase on everything?
Yeah, well, I'd say obviously super sad for Leia. I think over the summer it's been really fun just getting to build the chemistry with everyone. And I know me and her play really well together, so it's just really unfortunate what happened to her. But, like she said, we're a family. We're all sisters. And I know that everyone here has my back and they trust me to, step into that role as well. So I'm just really excited to just keep building off of it with the team.
Staying with Addie, you made your first career start today. Obviously the circumstances for it were disappointing, but how do you feel like you did, getting those minutes, getting that start for the first time?
Yeah, well, I think, obviously Princeton's a really good team. They always consistently make the postseason, March Madness, so we knew that this was going to be a really important game for us. But I think we came out of the gates really hard. And, games are games of runs. And, we had our run, they had their run. But overall, I think we did a good job of, instead of moving apart when things got hard, I think we did a good job of coming together. And I think that showed. Like, we played with smiles on our faces. We played really hard. We just kept attacking, and I'm excited to build off of this game.
For Kaylene, you were huge in the third quarter, kind of helping you guys reestablish that lead. And as Coach Frese talked about, just getting to the line relentlessly. Just talk about your kind of mindset coming out of halftime, what you were trying to accomplish. I know you're still kind of trying to get your rhythm back, obviously, just your second game back.
I feel like I stay focused on just playing to flow the game. Try to not go in there and try to force things. I feel like I play my best when I play with the flow and play with my teammates. So, they're a great help like keeping me confident and keeping me in the moment. So.
Hi, back here for Oluchi. Your defense today started off very well with the press, forcing a lot of steals, kind of teetered off, but played well throughout. How can you analyze just like the good and the bad from the defense today, and what do you think from yourself defensively as well?
Yeah, I mean, my philosophy with defense is that it's really all hard. Of course, there's techniques to it, but really it's your willingness to defend. And I think that intensity that we brought in terms of that is really what helped us in this game, and even coach sometimes with our press that we do, she had to tell me to even relax a little bit. So that goes to show you how serious we take it and how it's such a great tool for us to really get us going.
Hi guys, for KK or Oluchi, Princeton's starting five is playing huge minutes out there with kind of limited substitutions. What were some of your strategies today to just tire them out, force some mistakes, to get some fouls out there from them?
I think we focus on our depth. They're going to get tired, and we have a lot of, I think anybody on our team is able to play, so just trying to tire them out, keep the pressure on them because we know we're going to burn them out. Keep pushing pace was like main key, and just continue to play our game.
Yeah, just on that note, get out and run. I think it's something that we don't do enough at times, especially with our depth. Like, we have to use it to our advantage, so I think that's what we're able to do today.
Glad you saved that turnover.
Raise your hand for the mic. Questions for Coach. Start with three.
Hey, Brenda.
Hey.
Real quick, can you update us on Rainey?
Yeah, just lower leg injury, just day to day. Just waiting to see. Hopefully, we'll get her back in practice sooner than later.
So is she kind of like not doing even much in practice?
Yeah, no, not right now.
Just kind of overall, you mentioned Leia, obviously. How do you kind of approach it? Is it, we saw Eddie kind of bumped up. Is it by committee, or how do you, for someone who was kind of running the show and had kind of established herself over this last couple of months, how do you kind of approach having to replace your starting point guard?
Yeah, I think like you saw today, I mean, Addie was ready. Kendall, gave great minutes. She was really aggressive and confident as well. I like when Kendall can come in and then we can slide Addie so she doesn't have to do, 35, 40 minutes of that kind of pressure that she's going to see over the course of time. And then we've got a lot of great experience. And when you talk about Yarden and Saylor and Luch, KK, the experience, it doesn't have to solely be on their shoulders. So I think when we're, at our best, we're sharing the basketball in transition and we're kicking ahead and kind of playing really free. So we just have to continue to be able to adapt and play that way.
Hi, Carl Baltimore, District of Buckets. Coach, just want to ask you about, there's that run that Princeton went on to kind of get to halftime. Going into halftime, like, what really would you say, do you either say to your team or kind of get the coaches together to kind of make sure that you can weather those types of storms since, till this point, you really don't see, too much of that early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's early. I was a little disappointed. I thought fatigue definitely played a part, but that's normal this time of year. And then, we looked like we had never broken a press, and, it wasn't even it was a soft press. But sometimes that's why coaches do that. You try to change the rhythm, and it definitely impacted us. You saw, I didn't think their turnovers were because of the press. I thought they were unforced by us, like making the press bigger than what we needed to be. But just settling us down, with our press break and that confidence in the second half, and it was a great response.
Coach, I noticed you went with 5-out lineup a little more with Yarden and Saylor as the bigs and kind of 3 guards. What did you like from that lineup, and what did you feel like kind of unlocked for you guys offensively?
Just our rebounding, our spacing, especially when you talk about like just some of the turnovers that we had, needed to, just feel like having more guard play that was out there. I thought, again, being able to utilize that to our strength and being able to get downhill and being able to draw the fouls. But every game is going to call for a different lineup. We're trying to gain as much experience from our bigs as we can, but they're young. This is Issy's first time, playing at a high level, and Mari is a freshman. So, and then hopefully we'll be able to extend that depth off the bench.
Coach, given the injuries you've already been dealing with, can you take me through the emotions of first when Addie goes down briefly in the third quarter, and then learning that she's going to be able to get taped up and come back?
Yeah, injuries are the toughest thing within a season, and especially to have that happen so quickly right after Leia's. So yes, emotions were very high. I didn't see Addie's as clearly as I did with Leia's, that you knew right away, but you knew if it wasn't anything that was going to keep her out, that Addie would, like she did, get herself taped up and get back out on the floor. So she's a really tough nose player, and it would take a lot for her to get off the floor. So just super grateful. It's part of, unfortunately, every team has to face. We've had to face it. Everybody does, and you just have to be able to help your kids be resilient, and that's why everyone has to continue to be ready to play. You never know when your number's going to be called.
Hi, Coach. You're still working on those turnovers, but 16 tonight was the fewest so far this season. Can you talk about what you've been working on in practice with them just to kind of clean that up?
I think it'll clean up when we can get more chemistry within our lineup. You're playing so many games right now with 3 games in a week that you're not having a lot of practice time. This was a one-day prep to get prepared. So once we get into December and can get a lot more practices and around finals and in that stretch, I expect that'll clean up. And again, you have so many new players that you're playing in these lineups, and a lot of freshmen. So you're right. I mean, I should see the positive of the fewest that we've had up to this point, and we'll have to continue, especially as we move forward with all these great teams, to be able to cut them down.
Hi, Coach. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, but obviously a lot shorter of a lineup today. Only 9 players played. Rest of the games, you've really stretched out of the bench a little bit more. Obviously, losing Leia shortens your bench a little bit, but how do you think your philosophy changed coming into today against a tougher opponent in Princeton?
This is a really experienced team. They've played, I don't know how many games under their belt together. That's not a brand new roster. They're juniors and seniors with a ton of postseason experience. So it lends to the data that up to this point, and that's through your practices and your games. Clearly, some of our players are working hard behind the scenes, but they've got room to grow, and that's the exciting thing. They'll have opportunities to get there, but in a game like this, a top 25 matchup, they are clearly a top 25 team. You kind of go with what you know and with the experience that you're able to have.
Going off your point there, Coach, about how talented Princeton is, you guys are 5-0 for the 10th time in your time here, but this year you guys have played and beaten some pretty good teams. How important is this first stretch going to be, not only for your end-of-season resume, but more so for the confidence building early in the season?
It's really important. We knew just having so many new players and that blend of young and old that we wanted to be really intentional with the schedule. But I just love the fact that we're growing every single day we step out on the court, and we're improving in practice and we're improving in games, and that's all you can ask for.
One more lineup thing, not to nitpick, but just want to ask about very little time for Mir and not Ava at all today. Was, again, that just the scenario of the game kind of going on, or because, Mir has played a pretty big role in the past, and Ava's
yeah, it's matchups. It's definitely matchups. This team's a really disciplined team. Like these guys understand when you come in the game and they're going to shot fake and step up and under and you foul, like you have to be ready to play. And I shared with Mir, like it's we've got to continue to understand scouts and personnel, but you're not going to see a bench that's going to go 9, 10, 11. We're not there yet. Hopefully we'll be able to get there, but this was more of a guard game, and with the press that we had, and every game's going to lend to be different. I know Mir and Ava will respond because they're great players, they're great competitors, and they'll just keep putting their head down and going to work. Great, thank you.